following presentation of the National Football League.
Sideline, their head coach. His guys just 2 wins over their last 6 games. His counterpart on the other side, the head coach of the home team. His guys stuck in a bit of a losing streak right now, hoping the home fans can help them get out of this slump. About set to begin another week of football, and happy to have you along. We are underway on Thursday night primetime. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. And they will be led out by a man in his sophomore campaign as the quarterback.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers. Because the only excitement he really generated was the 1 interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
Short throw caught by Bowers. And getting this just shy of midfield. They'll spot it at the 49. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down. Up the middle, it's Genty. And he stopped immediately there. Well, now after all of this, hang on here because he appears to be shaken up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. Ball right on the 50-yard line. Here's 2nd and 9. Once again, it's Genty. And he'll be down close to the first down marker as he gets this to the Broncos' 42. Call it an 8-yard gain. Much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll try to run for it with Genty. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider first down.
First down. A gain of 16 yards. And the Las Vegas.
You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game. It's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. DeAndre Hopkins. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Raiders will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of the team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, the other team might think to itself, it's been a short week. We're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So now here are the Broncos for their first drive of the game. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
There's a lot of good to watch in the game last week, wasn't there? I mean, he did throw 2 touchdown passes. That was impressive. And he's so close, isn't he? The 3 interceptions killed him and his team. That was costly. If he just cleans that up a little bit, there's a reason for optimism with this team and this passer.
It was Jamal Adams up from his safety spot to make the play behind the line. Now it's Nix. He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield. And he is going to lose yardage here. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. Nix to the air. He'll try and do this himself. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Able to find a seam for 14 yards, but still now facing a 4th down after the scramble. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. This is taken around the 12. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. 4-4 their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we wondered just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
On play action, May. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Alex Singleton buries him for a loss of 11 from his outside linebacker spot. Throwing here is May. They'll try and set up the screen to Genty. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
1st and 10 on the 33-yard line.
To throw, it's May. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 2nd and 10. A run straight ahead from Genty. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. They'll throw with May. And that is incomplete.
After watching him drop that slant, I can hear my old coach's voice ringing in my ears right now. You can't run with the ball until you catch it. I'm trying to get those rack yards before he secured it.
So another scoring drive there, Charles, and an early 2-score lead.
You'd like the 6 there, partner, but you'll take the 3, and I think they have to be happy about the way they moved the ball in these first 2 drives. They have to feel good about their opportunities the rest of the game.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Broncos offense led by their running back headed out for the 2nd possession. And as we transition into the second half of the season, you can see he's the NFL's leader in rushing touchdowns. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Nothing for him yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Another run here with Dobbins. And he'll be stopped up at the 26 after a gain of only a couple. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Nice.
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Myles Garrett. Make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
No, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on, how about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
On 4th down, Jeremy Crawshaw on to punt. They'll send this away into the Rocky Mountain Night, and it's a good one. Fielded at the 20. The 40 before he's out of bounds. A great return there of 22 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Looking to put a drive together. The drive will begin with a run by Genty. We'll get this up to about the 44.
Well, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
A gain of 8 there on the play. And it'll be 2nd and a couple.
At the 34-yard line.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score. Second and a couple. A run out of the gun with Genty. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
To the air, May. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 2nd down in the yard. Here's May. Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's May. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. Daniel Carlson set for the Raider field goal. Carlson able to put this one through. And that will extend their lead even further. So they get the 3. It was 4th and 1. And I think you were doing what I was doing. I was looking down at the sideline. I'm not sure the offensive unit wanted the 3. They wanted to go for it.
But when have we ever seen a unit that didn't want to go for it in that situation, right? Sometimes it's just way more important to have the points on the board than to worry about any type of a gamble.
The Broncos going to get one more possession in this first half. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. To throw is Nix. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 26 seconds to go until halftime. Throwing Nix. Slant pass to Bull. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. From the gun on third down, it's Nix. A short throw to Ingram. Call it a gain of 3 on the play. And it'll be fourth down. Here's Jeremy Crawshaw now, as he's on to punt for Denver. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Yeah, he was looking for the checkup bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. The offense for Las Vegas about set to begin the drive. And with 10 seconds left, not really enough time to put something together. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. It's a pickup of 3 on the play, but with it, time has run out on the first half of play.
All right, Brandon, thanks much. Welcome in, everyone, to the downtown Orlando studios. Scott Hansen and crew with you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side can establish some tempo in the third quarter as we're ready to kick off the second half. Back out to our commentary team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Scott, thank you very much. We are ready to get started here with the second half. It'll be the Broncos getting the football first in this second half as they trail, and we are back underway. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. By no means certainly are they out of this contest. 2-score game start of the third quarter, but you feel like if they don't get points and then they give up points, then it can become a slippery slope. This feels like an important possession.
Yeah, and that slope becomes even more slick if you come away empty-handed on this drive, because then you give them a chance to extend their lead. You need some kind of points here, even if it's just a field goal. It's what I call one of those calming drives. Try and slow things down a little bit.
Throw left side complete. That's Boyd. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line.
21 yards. And the Broncos first down.
Off the bootleg, here's Nix. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. So no gain on the play. And that's going to bring up second down.
Second and 10 at the 39-yard line.
They'll try to draw here with Dobbins. And it's a good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. That's a gain of 13 as they try to whittle away at this 13-point deficit. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10. They'll go again with Dobbins. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up second and 11.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Here's Nix. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. They'll go for a gain of 7. And that'll bring us to a 3rd and 4. In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. To throw. Here's Nix. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Jeremy Chin, so dangerous wherever he's at on the field, and that time he gets in there for the sack. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
So here are the Raiders now to take over. They lost 2 straight coming in, but good news for them right now. They've got the lead and the football. Looking to put a drive together. They'll start on the ground with Genty. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
From the lineman to the guy running with it, that was a well-executed first down by the offense. With 2 shots left to get the first, you can get a little aggressive here on second down if you want and try for some bigger yardage.
That's to Amon-Ra St. Brown. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 39 yards there, a big one.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 26-yard line. We're going to throw May. He'll go right back to St. Brown. And he's going to be out down inside the 20 at the 15. Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Ashton Genty, his 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Raiders will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd.
And that's a drive that makes everyone happy on that bench because they accomplish exactly what they set out to do. Take care of the football, eat up a little clock, end up in the end zone. Now they've got a cushion for the rest of the game. So they didn't just help themselves offensively, they helped their defense out as well.
Now the Raider offense will stay out there as they'll line up to go for 2.
The Raiders will line up for the 2.
May going to try and throw for it. And this is going to be caught. It's good. And that extends their lead by 2 more. So they go with the pass, and it works there on the 2-point try. Charles, just in general, what are your thoughts passing versus running on 2-point conversion? Situational?
It is situational, and you have to know your team. What is your strength? Because so many people think you have to throw the ball in a 2-point conversion, but the stats will tell you that running it is about as proficient. So know your team and go to your strength.
On as the Raider kickoff unit now as they will send this one away. So the Broncos coming out now.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
He had to fight that time. Ran through 1 tackle, but ultimately he's only going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. They'll find Dobbins out of the backfield. They'll give him 4 yards there. And now 3rd down and 6 to go.
4 brings up 3rd and 6.
Fourth quarter coming up here on Thursday Night Prime Time. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Mims in motion left. On third down, here's Dobbins. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4. They're going. It's Nix.
Nice.
Brought down. Can't do anything with the football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. On first down, it's Genty. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's a pretty good drive starter right there. And I don't know, partner, if you're even thinking about sitting on the ball right now. They may just want to run their regular offense.
In plus territory. And as an offensive coordinator, you don't want your team to go into a shell, do you?
No, you really don't, because as soon as you take your foot off the gas, it's real hard to put it back on and mash it. Because once everyone's emotions come down, it's hard to start them up again. So I think you may want to keep them cranking high right here.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. They'll go again with Genty.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on second down. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver.
From the 4, it's 2nd and a couple.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
The 4th quarter with a 3-score lead here, Charles, but they're still going back to the air and looking for more points.
Well, with this game well in hand, it's an opportunity for the guys to come off the bench and get a chance to play. And a lot of coaches, they want to run their full playbook.
Ashton Genty. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Raiders look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter.
Well, it was 3rd and 1. I was expecting runs, so much for that. They pass it, they score it.
That had the feel of the head coach telling the offensive coordinator, you've got 4 downs here. We're going to go for it on 4th down unless there's a disaster on 3rd. Go ahead and take a shot if you want to. And he gratefully accepted the opportunity and did exactly that. If they didn't get it there, that had the feel that they would come back and try it on 4th down.
Extra point by Carson, up and good. And that makes the score 28-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. And coming out now, the Broncos.
It's now appearing that this losing streak is going to continue. You know, the coaching staff was confident that this was going to be the game to stem the tide, but that just has not been the case. Now the Central Florida product is R.J. Harvey.
And he's able to bring to 1 tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage.
Now a 2nd and 10.
Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 35.
Working out of the gun is Nix.
And the Raiders have got it. They'll wind up losing a full 9 yards here on the sack. Now it's 3rd down.
We all know he's one of the better quarterbacks in the league, but definitely not today. His team trailing by multiple touchdowns and a late sack. Just a parting gift from the defense for him to take back to the locker room with him.
A short throw to Ingram. And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
It's 4th down.
They'll go for it. Here's Nix. Passes to still able to bring it in.
And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
And the Broncos, 1st down.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Incomplete. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here.
Here's 2nd and 10.
They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. quickly into the hands of Mims. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Back to the air with Nix.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And this defense will take over right at midfield. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line.
110 yards rushing for him now to this point.
He's brought down at the 45-yard line. It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
This 2nd and 4.
They give it off here to the tight end. Stiff-armed him. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
Now a handoff to Genty.
They'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark it down at the 9. The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10.
On the give, Genty.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
At the 8-yard line.
On the give, Genty.
And he is going to be stopped here at the line of scrimmage, and time is going to expire in this football game.
So this one a victory for the Las Vegas Raiders.
And this was truly a total team effort, Charles, on both sides of the ball.
No, they absolutely pitched a shutout, so it can't get much better than that, right? The defense led the way, but the offense did their part as well. They moved the ball up and down the field, so you've got to like what you saw. What do they call that? A total team effort? I think when it's time to hand out game balls, guys from both sides will end up getting one.
So for the Raiders, the win gets them back over 500 at 5-4 on the year. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.
EA Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Representing the legendary Al Davis and the team's will to just win, baby. The torch is lit before every game inside of Allegiant Stadium as these fans hope it indeed drives their Raiders to victory in Vegas. Straight ahead with a nationwide audience tuning in, it's a Monday night primetime showdown between the Dallas Cowboys and the Las Vegas Raiders. On the visiting sideline, head coach of the Dallas Cowboys, Brian Schottenheimer. His side taking full advantage of their bye week to rest and recover. Running the show across the field, the head coach of the Raiders. These guys ready as they always are to play in front of this home crowd, hoping the extra surge of momentum pays off in a win. Glad to have you with us for this one, football fans. Kate Scott and Brock Hewitt on the call. It's Pro Bowler Brandon Aubrey with the honors. And here we go on Monday Night Primetime. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line. So out head the Raiders for their first possession. They'll be led out by last year's third overall pick. He started 12 games last year as a rookie. That's Drake May.
Just an all-around great performance from him last week, Kate, in the win. Those 2 touchdowns he had played a big part in the victory, no question. But so did keeping it clean, not throwing a pick. You want to become friendly with your own defense? Make sure they don't have any extra possessions to defend. He did his job, and so did his teammates.
Last run got him 3. Here's 2nd and 7.
Brings up 2nd and 7.
Operating from the gun, here's May. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's out of bounds. Defenders get there to drive him out right near that 40-yard line. Pickup of 12 on that play. And the Raiders are going to have a first down.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
And off to Genty. Dropped by the first guy he met. No gain on that first down run. The presence of those tight ends works both ways, Brock. You know this. Gives them more blockers up front, but it also puts the defense in to be ready for that run.
Yeah, you could put 7 blockers up there, even put 8, I don't know, 9. All the blockers in the world, but if they don't work in concert together to create a lane, it doesn't matter.
Finds him over the middle. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. Coming to the line, this is 1st and 10.
Las Vegas, first down. 1st and 10 at the 47.
Giving this to Genty. And he has enough room to gain about 4.
Really good patience right there. It's hard to do for runners in this league because these holes close up so fast. But he was patient. He was explosive. Nice little gain on the ground.
So gain of 5 on that first down. Let's see if they can repeat that performance now here on 2nd. Back to Genty. He started to get through the lane before it closed. 3 yards there. Stop made by Donovan Ezeraku.
You know, that's a good run right there. Keep the offense on schedule. If he can average that type of yards per carry, this guy's going to be more than all right with letting him lead the show.
Got his man. Hopkins has it. He's going to be stopped, but not before dealing some damage. He's down to the 12. That's going to pick up the first down after a gain of 26.
Raiders, first down. 1st and 10 at the 12-yard line.
That's just so good. I mean, that is teaching tape right there. It's what you want your guys to do. To not just catch it and fall down, but have a plan. Yes, you got to catch it first, but then have a plan to go attack. Be aggressive. Get those yards after catch. That is a job well done.
This one's caught. Touchdown, Vegas. The Raiders finish up an excellent opening series. Amon-Ra St. Brown, the touchdown. Well, his coaching staff has got to be a happy partner. A calm and calculated opening drive. Really impressed with the score, how they controlled the football, and they played at their own pace.
Yeah, it's one of those drives that just pays dividends. I know it's the opening drive, but you're just taking some of the starch out of that defense and putting some doubt in their mind. Like, man, they just methodically shoved it right down our throat.
Carlson good on the extra point. And the Raiders will jump out to a 7-0 lead.
Raiders 7, Cowboys nothing.
The Raiders kicking team is out there, and they'll boot this away. Fielded at the 7. He's brought down just inside the 25. So here come the Cowboys for their opening drive. And they're brought out by a quarterback celebrating a decade now as an NFL starter. Originally the 135th pick back in that 2016 NFL Draft, it's Dak Prescott.
As you take the field coming off of a real late season bye, you just want to maximize what last week was all about. Making sure that physically, mentally, emotionally you're recharged so you can go attack the final stretch of this season.
On the 24 once again, it's 2nd and 10. A give to Algier on the inside handoff. And this is brought to a stop up at the 34-yard line there. Gain 11 on that play. That'll be good for Dallas. First down.
1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
First down, here's Dak. He isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. It's a sack on first down. We'll see if it changes the play they go with now on 2nd.
Remember in our defensive meetings this week, that's exactly how you draw it up. Play sound zone defense. Give that quarterback nowhere to go and let that pass rush get home.
Prescott here from the gun. Gets this one to Tyler Algier. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
That's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 12.
That's going to do it for our first quarter here on Monday Night Primetime. 7-0 is our score. We'll return to Allegiant Stadium right after this. Second quarter all set to begin, and it'll be Cowboys football. They'll need something big here to start out. It's 3rd and long. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it.
Nice.
Defense comes through. That's going to back them up and bring up 4th down.
Loss of 7 yards. And it's 4th down.
The Cowboys setting out their punting unit. Dylan Lau being back deep for the Raiders. That's taken at the 15. They found some space to do a little damage there before they bottle him up. The Raiders and running back Ashton Jeanty headed back out there. And you can see he's done his part on offense this season. Sitting 2nd right now in the league in rushing touchdowns. Raiders just about ready for this one. It's 1st and 10. Throwing is May. Finds the in route complete. He hangs on to that football broad through a well-timed tackle. Nice gain. They're down to the 36. Offense getting set. Here's 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Shotgun give here to JT. Gets it ahead, winds up with about 3. Tackle made by Trayvon Diggs.
Hey, that's a run that's hold on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Looking to his running back, incomplete. That play's going to bring up 3rd down.
It just kind of feels like they've met their match with this defense. So many plays, well, they just not ended the way they were drawn up. Fortunately, well, their defense is doing the same. You really feel like which offense can get into rhythm is going to find a way to win this game.
And they get this down to the 44 before he stopped. They'll pick up from 17. And that's a Vegas first down.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your third downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
No luck on the connection. It's incomplete. Try getting that one to Brock Bowers. And it's going to be second down.
Incomplete. Savon Rebel on the cover.
Genty from the gun. We call it 1, maybe 2 yards at the end, but it's third down.
It'll be this group's job watching the film to find all these plays. Ones that amount to really very little statistically and identify what was needed to just make them a little bigger, stretch them further. Afterthought plays now, they could be the big gains of next week.
Going left side, Bowers has it. And he'll go out of bounds close to the 35-yard line.
You know, I like the completion. You never turn down a completion. That's just not the right throw to make in that spot to move the chains.
Trying to throw for it with May. He finds him beyond the marker. And they haul him down just a foot or two shy of the red zone. And we are still waiting for the scoring for anybody really to get going as we've hit our 2-minute warning. The Raiders with the lead at home here at Allegiant. On first down, Genty. And he's into the front for a gain of about 2.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
Following that little 2-yard run, it's second and 8. Here's May to the air. And that was just a little bit too low to be brought in.
Fairly safe to say as that one falls incomplete this first half so far, it's not met the standard they set for themselves.
8 yards to go.
May now on third down. That's complete to St. Brown outright. And into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Las Vegas. The Raiders blow their lead just before halftime. Ross St. Brown, the touchdown. His second scoring catch of the game. So he finds his man in space, and then the wideout takes advantage. Nice finish there to take it in for 6.
Yeah, no question about it. We know points are always a premium in this league, and this really becomes a 3- or 4-point play. Right, when you don't have to settle for field goals, you can throw it underneath, and your receivers do that much damage in the open field and score a touchdown. That's big time.
Carlson to tack on the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Raiders double their lead to 14.
Raiders 14. Cowboys nothing.
The Raiders kicking team is out there, and they'll boot this away. Here's a return from the 7. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25-yard line. Back out come the Cowboys for their second drive. They're trailing, but there's enough time, Brock, that they could get a scoring drive to attack that here before the break. Cowboys just about set. Here comes first and 10. Working out of the gun, it's Prescott.
Nice.
Into the slant, it's intercepted. And the Raiders get the football as he makes his 3rd interception of this season.
The Raiders take over first and 10.
He got in front of that one for the pick. Looked like that's the receiver it was designed to go to on that play, too.
Yeah, the QB just must have missed the lurky defender in coverage right there. That's where, as a QB, you've got to have the vision to not just see your routes, but see those defenders in front of you. If you stare down your receivers in this league, turnovers follow.
Come up after that 4-yard gain. It's second and 6.
Second and 6.
Another give here to Genty. Shoots away from one. They And he will haul it in for the Vegas touchdown. The Raiders get more points to end a lopsided first half.
That's just simply the difference-making edge that these elite running backs bring to you. A lot of backs can get you 10 yards, 20 yards, but the elite backs, they can take it to the house.
Carlson now to add one more. Extra point set right down the middle. And the Raiders stretch their lead to 21.
Cowboys, nothing.
The Raiders kicking team is out there, and they'll boot this away. This return starts at the 5. And this drive will start inside the 25. The Cowboys are ready to go on offense a final time in this first half. And with field position and the clock against them, you're probably not going to see anything of substance. All right, keeping it simple. They're just going to call a give right up the middle. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that first down play.
Gain on the play. Second and 10 at the 24-yard line.
They'll stick with the ground game here. And he could not break beyond the line. So that's how our half's going to end. So a one-sided contest as we reach the break here. Let's head over to Scott Hansen for the EA Sports Halftime Report.
Our spin around the NFL starts now. At Lincoln Financial Field, the Eagles at home to take on the Lions in a matchup of the top 2 seeds in the NFC a season ago. And it's the Super Bowl MVP, Jalen Hurts. 12 yards on the touchdown. The Eagles are playing well. They move to 7-3 with the victory. From there, why don't we go to Cleveland? Let's check in on the Browns as they host the Baltimore Ravens. And this is the big man, Derrick Henry. All he needs is a crease, and he finds it. That's a 7-yard rushing touchdown. The Ravens are the first team to 10 wins this year. They are 10-0 with this victory. Got one more to show you. Let's go to Denver. It's the Broncos hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. And it's Patrick Mahomes. He connects here on a 36-yard touchdown. The Chiefs get it done within the division as they come away with the victory. With that, time for a look at the rest of the action going on here in week number 11 in the NFL's regular season. Meanwhile, our game has not been all that competitive, a one-sided affair through 2 quarters. As we get you back out to Kate Scott and Brock Hewer.
The Raiders kicking team is out there, and they'll boot this away. And we'll have to wait at least a few moments longer for an exciting start to this second half. We've got a touchback. The Cowboys with their offense back out there as Tyler Algier returns to the field. And you know who the ball is going to when they reach the red zone. He's currently top 5 across the NFL in rushing scores this season. First and 10, Prescott. Completed here to Tolbert. It's a small gain up to the 38. Jeremy Chin there on the stop. Second down now. They need 7.
Brings up second and 7. At the
Now a handout to Algier. And that one doesn't get him much. Even maybe a yard. It's third down.
He's brought down at the 39-yard line. A 1-yard gain. Brings up third and 6.
They'll throw. Third and long. To the left and wheeled in by Ferguson. And he has it up towards midfield before he's taken down at the 47. Offense is 6. First and 10.
That's good for a Cowboys First down. First and 10.
Off the play fake, it's Prescott. This time they're going to get to him before he can get that pass away as he goes down. It's 3 sacks for the game so far. Brings up second down.
Second down.
From the gun is Prescott. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete. It arrived as the ball did to break things up. And that's going to leave him with a tough 3rd and long. 3rd and long for him here. Hits him on the out route. And they'll make the stop up at the 46-yard line. Dallas sends its punting unit onto the field. And he wants to hit his second effort just as well as he hit his first. Nice punts here, up and angled towards the sideline. And there won't be a return here. This punt is out of bounds. They'll say inside the 40. Now the Raider offense headed back to the field. And eventually, Brock, one of their drives is going to fail to reach that end zone. But through 3 possessions so far, they have been perfect.
Yeah, and in order for that to happen, somebody somewhere on this defense has got to rise to the occasion.
That'll be incomplete to start the new set of downs. After the incompletion, still at the 38, it's 2nd and 10. Back to the air, it's May. Short pass brought in. He brushed him off with ease. And he's hauled out of bounds as he takes this down to the 30. Give him 32 on that play. And the Raiders are going to have a first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
They give up the guts. It's Genty. And they limit the damage just a few yards on that gain. Marshawn Nealon, the one to send him down. Oh, boy, there was someone injured on that play, and it didn't take long to ID who, right? It's DeAndre Hopkins in need of some assistance. 4 yards on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 6. From the gun, it's May. Completed over the middle. And he's brought down. They're going to mark him at the 14. It's a gain of 12 on that one. And that's a Vegas first down.
And a Las Vegas first down. First and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Sending him on the dime. And they sent it straight ahead, but the front stops him after a gain of 3.
So many offenses will script, Kate, the first 15 plays of a game, but it's often getting to the lesser-used stuff like that that's critical in the red zone. They get a decent gain out of it and continue to push for the goal line.
May now from the gun. The shot to the end zone is incomplete. Took his shot at 6 that time. And that brings up 3rd down.
As I watch practices today, Kate, both college and professionally, one thing is abundantly clear. Teams spend so much more time in the red zone. They know it's the money zone. And defensively, if you can force incompletions and knock it away and lead teams for field goals, you got it.
And he's in. Touchdown, Las Vegas. The Raiders push their lead further to start the half. Amon-Ra St. Brown, the touchdown. His 3rd through the air this game. 3 touchdown catches in one game is rare air, Brock. Safe to say most guys who retire can name every time they did that here in the NFL.
Yeah, I hope he remembers it, but also remember this. Receivers, they're a dependent position. They're dependent on the guys doing their job up front. They're dependent on the quarterback putting on the spot. And usually, when you reach a milestone like this, you'd love to share it with everybody else. And my guess, especially if they could find a way to win this one, is this receiver will celebrate it with all of his guys.
The Raiders kicking team is out there, and they'll boot this away. And he got all of that one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Another drive coming up for this Dallas offensive unit. All the touchdowns have come from one side of the field, Brock. They're still looking for their first points of any kind in a game that has gotten out of hand. Prescott on 1st and 10. And screen here to Blue. And he's going to be driven out, but a nice pickup. Gained about 8. Second down.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable. It creates space to take that shot downfield.
Throw secured by George Pickett. And he's taken down quickly. Nicely done by the defense. But the catch does get him to the 39-yard line.
Cowboys, first down. First and 10.
You just get the play off. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's short of the first after a mild gain. All right, we reach the final quarter of Monday Night Prime Time. It's Cowboys football as we're just really counting down the moments at this point. This game's gotten out of hand. Second and 3 now.
Yeah! Here we go!
Another throw for Prescott. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. It's sack number 4 in the game for him. This one makes it third down.
This overwhelming pressure and these sacks after sacks after sacks. Let's build this lead, and you know it's the way they want to finish it.
It's third and 8. Need to get a chunk here. Air it out on third.
Nice.
Trouble gets brought down again. And a couple of really good plays, Brock, made back-to-back behind the line to bring up fourth down. They're going to go for it here, trailing in the fourth. Desperation time here on fourth. Out left, Lamb makes the grab. And he's brought down at about that 27-yard line. They left the offense out there on fourth down, Brock, and look at the results. A big gain, 15 yards, and a fresh set of downs, too.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
First down, here's Dak. Cut out left. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
Complete to Luke Scootmaker. 4 yards on the pickup. Second and 6 at the 23-yard line.
This is second and 6 coming up. Here's Prescott. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. So that play doesn't work out, but things make it even worse for them. Looks like one of their big guys out front is in need of a look from the training staff. Prescott now on third down. Finds him over the middle. And he stopped cold at the spot. Really keep paid for that one, but hey, still enough for that first down.
That's another Cowboys first down.
Throwing again, Prescott. Catch is made in close. Touchdown, Dallas. The Cowboys making the scoreboard look a touch better. C.D. Lamb with the touchdown. Well, Brock, this one has not been good to them so far, but they are still fighting and able to get in there for 6.
Just a drive that was all about scratching and clawing. As much as anything, Kate, it was just a pride drive. And get your job done.
That one right down the middle. And the Cowboys cut the lead by a quarter, down now to 21. Down by 3 scores, their hand is forced. They're going to try the onside kick here. And the Raiders are able to secure the kick. And he'll have it down to the 44-yard line. Well, I guess they kind of had to do it here, Brock.
Yeah, it's called a have to. Yeah, kind of have to at this point of the game, huh?
Okay, but like most things in this game, it did not work out for them.
Yeah, let's face it. Even if they do recover that, probably not going to find a way to win. But this is a time where you work on things, where you do build to the following week. Find a way to flush this because it's just not been their kind of game.
So some immediate revenge for that last play, Brock. I don't know. What do you think? Is it going to take away the pain from giving up that big run the prior play?
Not necessarily, because it really does take a group failure to give up a big run like that in the NFL. But it also takes a whole lot of teamwork to knock them behind the sticks. Job well done there.
Looks like he gained about 3 yards. It's also going to bring up third down.
On the stop. It's a gain of 4. Brings up 3rd and
long.
8.
They're going to throw. That finds Bush. Complete. Their next snap is going to come from the red zone, Brock. He's down to that 17-yard line. And keep this drive moving, partner. Here's another 1st and 10. Straight ahead with Genty. And they're going to have 1st and goal after he picked up a nice chunk there.
Hey, even though that was an excellent run, I got to talk about the receivers here, Kate, because 9 times out of 10, you see a run like that in this league, 10 plus, you know those guys on the outside are doing their job, shining as blockers, keeping those defenders away from the back.
And he won't challenge for the goal line. The stop made at the 4. Give him a couple on the run, and it's now 2nd and goal.
Brings up 2nd and goal.
Going power with the big tight end. And he runs it across. Touchdown. The Raiders keep adding to that 4th quarter lead. So an exclamation point there. That caps off what, and I think you'd agree, Brock, has been a dominating performance.
Yeah, I would. Really in all phases, too. You know, I thought coming in that this would be a much closer game than how it's turned out to be. And you got to give credit where it's due. This offense has been outstanding throughout.
Carlson to tack on the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Raiders continue piling onto this lead.
7.
The Raiders kicking team is out there, and they'll boot this away. And he mishit this one badly. It's out of bounds short of the 40, and they're going to take over at that spot.
Kicking team.
So a rarity for anyone playing penalty bingo. It's a kickoff out of bounds and some great field position starting out. Algier running behind center. Wasn't a fan of what was ahead there, Brock, but the bounce outside doesn't fare any better. He gets a lone yard at 2nd down.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Can lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. I'm a more aggressive call on 2nd.
Need a better result than that last run. It's 2nd and 8. Working out of the gun, it's Prescott. And that one's going to fall incomplete. No luck there, just 11 seconds remaining. So after that prior incompletion, it's 3rd down.
3rd down. And 8 yards to go.
To the air on 3rd and long. And down he goes. Raiders got it. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
A loss of 7 yards. And it's 3 and out. Brian Anger in formation.
The Black Hole can take that party over to the Vegas Strip as the Raiders win at home. Well, tip of the cap, Brock. You could not question that they brought some fight to the field, try to throw their best punches. But we both know an opponent playing well, a road game, a hostile crowd getting after them, just too much to overcome.
If you can't get the win on the road, and listen, more than half the time you won't, a coach at least wants to see his guys keep fighting and scratching and clawing until the final whistle. I think they at least did that. But there's going to be plenty of other areas to work on when they get to the practice field this week.